As we move through our 50s, 60s, and beyond, something in us begins to shift.
We stop looking at health like a checklist. Eat this, avoid that, count these calories, follow that diet.
Instead, we begin searching for something quieter, something truer, a way of living that helps us stay strong, steady, and alive in the ways that matter most. And when you look around the world for answers, one place keeps shining through: China. A country where millions of older adults don't just survive into their 80s and 90s, they live those years. Walking, gardening, cooking, laughing, staying connected with life right up to the very end. What's remarkable is that their secret isn't found in expensive supplements, strict programs, or the next big health trend. It's found in something far simpler: a way of eating, a way of moving, and a way of caring for the body that feels gentle, almost effortless, yet deeply powerful. And the beautiful thing is, modern science is finally catching up with what these elders have practiced for generations. Large studies of older Chinese adults show that their habits, rich in plant foods, grounded in balance, supported by movement and emotional moderation, truly make a difference. Some research even shows reductions of 15%, 20%, sometimes over 25% in mortality risk simply from daily choices that look small but add up over a lifetime. So today, I want to share with you the heart of that wisdom, 3 pillars of the Chinese longevity lifestyle that have been validated not just by tradition, but by some of the strongest scientific evidence we have. And my hope is that as we explore them together, you might hear something your own body has been trying to tell you. A path toward aging not with fear, but with strength, with calm, and with a little more life in every single day. Part 1, eating with color, variety, and life. When you look at the diets of older adults in China, especially those in their 80s, 90s, even past 100, one thing stands out immediately. Their plates are full of plants, bright colors, fresh flavors, simple ingredients that feel alive. And here's the beautiful thing. This isn't just cultural tradition. It's supported by some of the strongest scientific evidence we have today. One large study followed Chinese adults over the age of 80 and found something remarkable. Those who ate fruit every day had about a 15% lower risk of death, and those who ate vegetables daily had about a 26% lower risk, not from supplements, not from powders, just from real natural foods grown from the earth. Another study in 2024 looked at nearly 12,000 older adults, ages 65 all the way to 116. An entire spectrum of aging researchers discovered that people who followed a plant-focused diet with plenty of vegetables, fruits, and moderate whole grains had significantly lower all-cause mortality. For men, their risk dropped to 0.87. For women, 0.95. Numbers like these don't come from fads. They come from habits that nourish the body year after year. And perhaps the most meaningful finding of all is this idea of dietary diversity. Scientists are learning that the variety of foods we eat, the number of colors, textures, plant types, plays a major role in keeping us strong. Older Chinese adults who ate a wide range of plant foods showed lower frailty, better mobility, and stronger immunity. It makes sense, doesn't it? Our bodies were never designed to run on the same few foods every day. They crave color, variety, the nutrients that come from mixing leafy greens with roots, fruits with grains, beans with vegetables. And here's the gentle invitation behind this wisdom. You don't have to give up meat entirely. You don't have to become strictly vegetarian. You simply shift the balance. More food that gives life, less food that burdens the body. Because after 50, the question isn't, how much can I eat? It becomes, what helps me feel light? What helps me feel steady? What helps me stay here, fully? not just existing, but living. And the answer in so many studies across China keeps pointing back to the same truth. Fill your plate with plants, fill your life with variety, and let nature do what it has always done, keep you well. Part 2. Longevity isn't just about food. It's about living lightly. As powerful as food is, the Chinese longevity story doesn't end at the dinner table. When researchers look closer, studying hundreds of thousands of adults across China, they found something even more profound. It wasn't one habit that made people live longer. It was the combination of many gentle habits woven quietly into daily life. In one of the largest studies ever conducted, the China Kadoorie Biobank followed adults from age 30 on, and the results were clear. People who lived a little more lightly, who didn't smoke, who drank only in moderation, who moved their bodies regularly, who ate balanced meals, who kept a steady weight, they lived significantly longer, not just a few months, but years. And what's even more inspiring is this. These benefits weren't only for the young. They held true even for the oldest old. Those in their 80s and beyond. A study published through Biomed Central showed that the diet plus activity plus moderate behavior combination still protected older adults well into their later decades. That tells us something important. It's never too early to start, and it's never too late to benefit. But unlike the pressure-filled approach we often see in Western wellness culture, the Chinese approach feels softer, more forgiving. It isn't about running marathons, counting steps, or forcing the body into exhaustion. It's about movement, not exercise. It's about moderation, not restriction. It's about living in tune, not living in tension. Think of the older adults in China who walk each morning to buy vegetables, who stretch slowly in the park, who sweep their courtyard, who garden, who dance in community squares, who laugh with friends. These simple daily movements are not just tradition, they're medicine. They reduce the weight on the joints, support heart health, and regulate blood sugar in ways that even medications sometimes struggles to match. And when you combine this with moderate alcohol intake, steady sleep, and the absence of smoking, the effect becomes compounding, like interest on a long-term investment in your own well-being. What these studies show is this: you don't have to fight aging, you simply have to cooperate with the body you already have. Small choices, made gently, movements that feel natural, behaviors that bring calm instead of stress. These are the rhythms that help people in China stay mobile, independent, and vibrant long after 70, 80, and even 90. Longevity isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It builds quietly through ordinary habits that honor the body rather than push it beyond its limits. And maybe that's the part many of us have been missing. Health isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm, balance, and presence. A lifestyle that feels light enough to carry and strong enough to sustain. Part 3, Yang Sheng, the art of nurturing life. There's a word in Chinese that carries a kind of quiet beauty, Yang Sheng. It translates to nurturing life, but it means something much deeper. A way of living that protects your vitality, the way you protect a small flame against the wind. Yang Sheng isn't about chasing youth or fighting age. It's about cultivating a lifestyle where body, mind, and spirit support one another. And for centuries, this philosophy has guided older adults in China to live not just long lives, but meaningful ones. What makes Yang Sheng so powerful is how complete it is. It weaves together diet, sleep, movement, breath, emotional balance, and even the way you relate to the world around you. It reminds us that health isn't an isolated part of life. It's the thread that connects everything else. And while some of the old stories attached to Yang Sheng speak of immortality, poetic tales meant to inspire, Modern science now reveals something just as fascinating. People who live in harmony with this gentle, holistic rhythm experience less stress, better immunity, steadier mood, and deeper rest. The things Yangsheng teaches, mindful breathing, balanced emotions, calm routines, have been shown to lower cortisol, improve heart rate variability, and protect the cardiovascular system in ways medication alone cannot. When Chinese elders talk about nurturing life, they don't mean living under strict discipline. They mean honoring the everyday moments that shape the nervous system. A warm bowl of soup, a walk after breakfast, an afternoon nap, a quiet pause before responding in anger. Researchers today call this parasympathetic activation, or the rest and digest state. But long before science had a name for it, Yangsheng already understood that the body heals best in calm, not chaos. And there's something deeply comforting about that, especially for those of us navigating the second half of life. We carry decades of experiences, joys, losses, responsibilities, pressure. Our bodies hold on to all of it. But Yangsheng reminds us that it's never too late to soften the edges, to breathe a little deeper, to let the heart settle. It teaches that emotional moderation, not suppressing feelings, but allowing them to pass like weather, is as important to longevity as any diet. Anger tightens the arteries. Loneliness weakens immunity. Chronic stress accelerates aging at the level of our cells. But a calmer life, a fuller breath, a slower meal, these are acts of nourishment just as real as food. Yangsheng is the art of living gently, the belief that if you take care of your life with small, steady acts of kindness, life will take care of you in return. And maybe that's the message worth carrying with us, that longevity isn't something you hunt down or earn through struggle. It's something you grow slowly, quietly, in the way you eat, sleep, move, feel, and show up for yourself each day. It isn't about adding years to your life. It's about letting life return to your years. When you step back and look at these three pillars together, the plant-rich variety on the plate, the gentle lifestyle of movement and moderation, and the timeless philosophy of nurturing life, a picture begins to form. It's a picture of aging that isn't filled with fear, aging that isn't about loss or limitation, but aging as a season where wisdom becomes nourishment and every choice becomes a way of caring for yourself. What moves me most about the Chinese longevity lifestyle is how ordinary it is. There's nothing extreme, nothing perfectionistic, nothing that demands you reshape your entire life overnight, just small, steady habits woven into the day. The kind of habits anyone, anywhere, at any age can begin. A little more color on your plate, a walk after a meal, a breath taken before reacting, a moment of stillness in the middle of noise, a night of deeper sleep, a day lived with softer edges, and somehow, over months and years, those gentle choices stack up, reducing inflammation, calming the heart, strengthening bones, supporting digestion, easing the mind, protecting the body. Science confirms it. But older adults across China have known it in their bones for generations. Because longevity isn't found in a bottle, or in a miracle trend, or in the next big thing the world tells you to buy. Longevity is built quietly, in the foods that come from the earth, in the movements that come naturally, in the emotions you release instead of holding in the life you nurture instead of rushing through. And maybe the most comforting truth of all is this: it's never too late to begin. Not at 50, not at 70, not even at 90. The body responds to kindness at any age. It heals in calm. It grows in balance. It thrives when we give it just a little attention, day after day. So if you're watching this and thinking, I want to feel steadier, lighter, more alive again, then perhaps this is your invitation to live gently, to eat with intention, to move with ease, to breathe with awareness, to nurture the life that's still unfolding inside you. Because aging isn't the end of the story, it's simply a new chapter. And you get to decide how beautifully it's written.